Now this chapter, guys, had things which were good and things which were bad. I didn't actually think this was a very bad chapter. It was pretty decent. I liked things that I'll come on to later on, but there were some bad points in this. Actually, I think the majority of the chapter was pretty good. So let's get into it. I liked it. I'd probably give it. Let me just get over the rating now. Probably a 6.5 or 7. It was alright, but there were parts which were just like, nah, I don't think so. So let's get into it. Fairy Tale 534, The Door of Vows. So last chapter, Natsu died. Actually, we'll get onto that later. Let's first talk about Jelal versus Acnologia. Now, a lot of people probably would have had an issue with this. Jelal should be nowhere near as strong as Acnologia, but I actually didn't mind with this altercation between the two of them because Jelal is small and fast. He's using his meteor type magic, and he's basically just annoying Acnologia. As I said last chapter, his only bet would be to annoy Acnologia and just not get hit. And Acnologia doesn't really get hurt. The hit on him seems to actually surprise him more than hurt him. So he doesn't seem to mind. He's just getting annoyed, and he's eating away any of the magical impact of Jalal's attacks anyway. So he's kind of recovering as he's getting hurt, even though he's not getting hurt. So he's just really upping his own magic. Then he gets pissed off. He fires off one of his Hoko cannon type thingies, and he splits the sea in two. The only issue I had with this was, why hasn't this guy fired one of these at Christina yet? He needs to fire. He needs to just kill Christina. Christina's getting annoying, and it just seems like Acnologia is kind of gonna, in the end, be the type of character which didn't take his chances, and he's gonna end up killing himself because he didn't kill the people who are gonna kill him in the future. And he's easily in a position where he could just decimate all of them, and that's my only issue with Acnologia. And we've been saying it for a while now. If you've been checking out my reviews, you know I've been saying this for the last 3, 4, 5 chapters. Even for Neverworld, I've checked out a few of his reviews. Even he mentions that Acnologia should have caught up and kicked some ass a while ago. So yeah, I wasn't really concerned with this part of the chapter. It was pretty good. Anna couldn't open the ravines, which was the ravines of time, which was a good thing. I like that. I mentioned last chapter, there's no way she should be able to open it. She should still have to go through Zeref's seal on the ravines of time, which is exactly what happened. She can't open it, so that was good. I enjoyed that. That was a great progression from last week. And yeah, so then the next plot point was Zeref says he's connecting, and he does actually connect the Fairy Tale Guild door to the ravines of time. So they now kind of one part of each doorway. I think that's the entrance, that's the exit. I don't know what it is, but the doorway has been connected between the ravines of time and the Fairy Tale Guild door. So that's basically the doorway he needs to walk through to reset time. And he actually mentions that he will retain his memories. So he's going to be the only one with memories retained. Everyone else is going to get erased. Then he's going to carry on and let humanity carry on, let Natsu come into being, and all that type of shit. So he literally just needs to step through that door. Just take one more step, boy, and you're done. This whole story will go to shit. We won't know what's going to happen. That would be actually an amazing progression. We won't know what's going to happen. But considering what happens later on, we'll come on to that later. So yeah, so he'll retain his memories. But then the next plot point is, and this was where most of the issues of this chapter come to fruition, really. Lucy commits the ultimate aspal. Okay, now let's discuss this, because this is going to be probably a 10-minute video just about. I'm hoping to keep it shorter, but Lucy messes this chapter up for me, alright? And it's not because of her character, it's because of what she does. That things we haven't really seen from her before. So the words from the book, which she's opened, she's on like the first chapter, I don't know what chapter she's on. She's opened the book, and the words are all spewing out, and they're encircling Grey, Happy, and Lucy, and they're all around them, yeah? So that's one thing. The words are all around them. They can't see every single word, alright? So the words are popping and disappearing. They've all noticed that. Grey, Happy, and Lucy are noticing that the words are popping and disappearing. And she instantly says that Natsu must be hurt. How? And I was initially okay with this. I was like, yeah, that's fine. She can read. We all know she can read. Most of Fairy Tail members can probably read. So that's fine. As long as she can read, she should know that he's getting hurt. But then I thought about it for a while, and I realized the words are disappearing. It's not like words are being added to the words that are coming out of the book. So she shouldn't have known that he was getting hurt, or that he was severely injured, which she mentions. all she should know is that words are disappearing. So there's not really anything, unless it's a gut feeling, that should suggest to her that he's hurt in any way. So that was my first issue, but that was just being really nitpicky, and I appreciate that that she might have just have a gut feeling. So I'll forgive that. And I don't even mind that she pulled the pen out of nowhere. I really don't care about that. That's not something I genuinely care about. I mean, there were people in the manga stream comments just taking the mic, but I don't care. So then she says she'll fix all the words that are disappearing. She says before that, she says she'll fix the issue with Natsu. So she'll help him out, basically. She'll rewrite what the book is saying. But from everything we've seen so far, how many chapters is this? This is 534. From each of these 534 chapters, we have never seen Lucy hint at or display any iota of being proficient in body link magic or any type of magic besides celestial magic. Yet she's comfortable with playing with Natsu's life here and rewriting his freaking book. And she doesn't really know how. She's never done it before. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm almost 100% sure she doesn't have any proficiency in body link magic. But the truth of the matter is, I don't remember every single fairy tale chapter. So there might be a chapter out there where it's like, yeah, she does have this proficiency. But I've never seen it. And I can't remember if you guys have seen it or if I've seen it any time before. But I'm pretty sure she doesn't have that proficiency. So she's basically gonna redo Zeref's work with zero knowledge of how to redo Zeref's work, even though Zeref is like one of the greatest mages of all time. So that's bullshittery right there. She shouldn't be able to do it. If it was magic as easy as, oh, you just gotta rewrite it and everything's fine, which is actually what happens in this chapter because Natsu comes back to life, spoiler alert, then everyone would be doing it, you know. It just that part annoyed me, but I'll forgive that too. I'll forgive that. And then we come on to the next part with Lucy, which is she memorized every word that popped out of existence, that was erased, and suggested to her that Natsu was indeed hurt. Now, at this point, I was like, forget this shit, man. How could she remember every single word that popped out of existence, considering each of the words there were probably some words that weren't even in her line of sight. Grey and Happy couldn't do it for shit, and she was just like, she just pulled out a pen and had this like cool moment where she was like, yeah, I've remembered every word. I was like, bitch, how are you gonna remember every word when you didn't even see every word? And then she's just like, yeah, no worry. And she's never, this is another thing what I don't like about mangas like this, is when characters display an ability which they haven't hinted at or even shown over the last 534 chapters. That's usually what's defined as an ass pull. So she here displays an amazing memory, basically a photographic memory, and she's never really been suggested to have that type of memory before. She's always been a bit clumsy. She's been clever in terms of compared to Natsu and Grey and stuff, but she is known to be clumsy and a bit dopey, even though her intellect is quite high. So the fact that she memorized every word, that pissed me off, and I was like, forget this shit. They're just getting Lucy to do everything they need for her for Natsu in this chapter. So then we come to the next plot point, which is the Ravines of Time open. Everyone can see it, even Aknologia. Anna makes this hilarious face when it opens up. She's just like, and I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, so then what we get is Jalal in kind of like his last ditch effort. I don't know why he felt he really needed to do this, but he's going to try and attempt to push Aknologia in, but in the process he might get sucked in himself, so it's a little bit risky, but he seems to want to do it. Urza's having a bitch for it because she's like, bro, you're gonna die. But we'll see how that goes. That's actually a good, I like this part of the story. I like this part of the development. So the Ravines of Time, this was actually another issue I had with the chapter. The Ravines of Time, according to Zeref, are filled with unimaginably strong time magic. Chapter 531. Now, this isn't an issue I had in terms of it was a bad story point. It's an issue as in, I wonder how this is going to develop in the story. This is going to be pretty cool. Because if it's filled with unimaginably strong time magic, the Ravines of Time, won't this just not affect Aknologia, who is the magic dragon? Won't he just be able to eat up or absorb all of the magic in there? I don't know, because the way Anna put it, once Aknologia goes in, he ain't coming out. But Zeref's got a doorway now set up where there's an entrance and an exit. So it's just going to kind of be like, imagine that freaking in the SNES version of F-Zero where you can just run down that side of the road where you freaking get health. It's basically going to be like that. Check it out. But yeah, I don't see how the ravines of time will affect Zeref as long as there's an entrance and an exit. If there was only an entrance where he gets pushed in and then he's fucked, he can't get back out, then I'd understand. Yeah, it doesn't matter how much magic is in there. But as long as there's an exit, he's just going to use it to soup himself up. So then, the big surprise of the chapter. Big surprise of the chapter. I mean, he didn't even stay dead for one chapter. Not for one chapter. He didn't stay dead. Natsu comes back to life, and Lucy gets like some severe case of deep vein thrombosis or some shit in her arm, which is not usually where you get it. But this is actually good. This was a good part of the chapter for me, because I didn't like the fact that Lucy was able to change everything, even though she's displayed no hint of ever having any knowledge of body link magic and all that shit that I've mentioned before in this review. But there is a drawback. She seems to have whatever's going on, like some demonic shit crawling up her arm, and it seems to be almost at a point where it's hurting her. She's either nervous, anxious, or whatever. But this is good. She's not going to continue writing in the book. Now, I'm hoping what it is Zeref had some sort of he had some sort of lock on the book where if someone tampered with it, they would be affected by a certain type of magic, and now she's going to just get knocked out or something. But chances are, and I have a bad feeling about this, chances are it's going to be something that's going to aid her in her ability to help Natsu. I get the worst feeling in the world, because that's the type of thing Mashima's done with Fairy Tail. You expect like, oh shit's about to go down, she's about to get wrecked, this is really bad situation for Lucy, she's going to be convulsing, she's going to be screaming in pain, and then it's going to turn out, oh no, I just got a superpower, now I can go Super Saiyan. And you're just going to be like, what? So I have a bad feeling it's going to be like that. But if it's, forget about what's going to happen in the future, this is actually a really good final page for the chapter. And like I said, it was only the whole Lucy commits the ultimate ass pulls section of the chapter where I didn't really like it. But yeah, that's all there was to the chapter. Oh, it turned out to be 12 minutes. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what you guys thought. Whether you agree with my whole ass pull thingy. I think I would give it a 6.5, just because of that whole section where Lucy's just changing shit and she doesn't know anything about it. She memorized every word. The words are disappearing. She knows he's hurt somehow. All that shit. That really got to me. But the rest of it was good. So yeah, let me know what you thought. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys later. I'm not sure if there's going to be a Nanatsu no Taizai chapter this week, but we'll find out. And yeah, I'll try and do a review if it comes out. See ya.